This 10-minute makeup video will take your makeup game from 0 to 100. You already have your makeup, grab it. Let's get right into it. I go in with my hydrating serum, and I just like to apply a little bit on both sides of my face. I basically rub it into my skin. The very first step is always to do the brows. So you want to apply the brows before you apply anything else. And as you can see, I'm basically just brushing out my brows and making sure that the shape is right before I start to apply any product. I use the L'Oreal eyebrow pencil. You want to go with your natural eyebrow shape. So I usually just go in back and forth motions and just make what I already have like more apparent. And I do the exact same thing. So I'm just going back and forth with the eyebrow pencil. When you first start doing makeup, you definitely want to learn how to enhance what you already have. Just to put it on like the concealer. Once I have it applied on there a little bit, I just go underneath the brows that I already curated. And I just want to clean it up a little bit. I don't do too much. I just go underneath and on top of it. Sometimes it might be one line that you just take. Other times you have to like play with it a little bit more. But yeah, the more you do it, the better you get at it. This is the part where I go in with my primer. So this is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I just apply a little bit on both sides of my face. After applying my primer, I go in with my Fit Me foundation. It's normal to oily skin. And it's in the shade Mocha. Since I'm going for a quick 10-minute look, I just apply a little bit of this onto my skin. Nothing too much. And with my forehead, I usually go like really light, so I barely apply products on my forehead. Just a little bit, enough to not make it look like there's nothing on there. And this is the brush that I use. I believe it's from e.l.f. And I just go in with like a setting spray or water. You just want to make it damp. That way it blends in better. I just go in back and forth motions. Now for this part, if you have a brush, you could use it. If not, you could also use like a blend, like a sponge, a beauty sponge. At this part, you want to blend all the concealer at the brows as well as your face, and you want to make sure everything looks the same shade. So after blending in the foundation, I go in with the same concealer I use for my brows. So this is a NYX concealer. It's in the shade Cappuccino. For a quick beginner look, I would just say to go ahead and apply it on your underneath your eyes, and then you could also put a little bit underneath your chin. And then the better you get at blending out products, the more you can apply on there. So I basically go in and spray this on here as well, just to make sure that my blender is damp. And then you just go in back and forth motions, and you want to blend in all that product into your skin. So I like to start from like blending the parts with less product. And then if I need more, I could go back in and like apply more products instead of, you know, the other way around. Now with the concealer part, you do want to be patient because usually you have to like blend a lot in order for it to sit into your skin, depending on the concealer. So some concealers dry really quickly, and with concealers that dry really quickly, you have to like do a little bit more blending in order for them to go into your skin. So for this one, it blends really well and fairly quickly. As you can see, it's already like almost completely blended into my skin. This part, another thing I like to do is I take this beauty sponge that already has the concealer, and then I go ahead and apply it right here, like at the underneath my brows. That way it's not looking completely dark and not as bright as the other parts of my skin. So after blending that in, I like to have like a little bit bright under eye, like nothing too crazy. So I just apply a tiny bit more in the inner corners of my eye, right here and right here. Go right in with the blush, with the brush. I go right in with the sponge and I blend a little bit more again. At this point, we are pretty much done applying concealer, and the next step is to apply the contour. So this is the contour that I have used for the past 4 to 5 years. I actually am due for a new contour. So these are the two brushes I use for the contour. The first one, which is the big one, I essentially dab it on here and I go underneath my cheekbone. So right here. And as usual, just back and forth motions on the other side of my face as well. The other place I apply it is right to define my nose. So I essentially start from right next to my eyes and I blend it down like that. So for a 10-minute video, I don't want nothing too crazy, so I just go ahead and like just apply that. Once I'm done applying the contour, I go in with my blush, the Milani blush, and it's in the shade Chick Kiss. So this is the brush that I apply it with, my applicator, and I essentially just dab it on here, and I smile and put it right on my cheekbone. Now, after applying the blush, I go in with my powder. So today I'm going to use the Maybeline Fit Me. It's in the shade Deep. This is the applicator I use for my powders because I like to press it into my skin. I essentially just put it on here and I dab it into my skin, essentially in back and forth motions. And you want to put the powder the exact same place where you had applied the concealer. So I put it underneath my eyes. Sometimes I just put a little bit on my forehead, nothing too crazy. And then I go underneath my chin as well. So another place where I apply the powder is right under my brows. Remember, I'm applying it everywhere that I also applied the concealer. But this is the part where I use my eyeshadow. And this is a LA Colors 16 color eyeshadow. So I will be going in with this shade over here. So this is really simple. I'm just gonna go back and forth just to apply a little bit of color. You are more than welcome to skip this step as a beginner. If you want to apply more color, you can get into it, but I do advise to be careful with eyeshadow because it could go really well or it could go really bad. After applying the eyeshadow, I go in with a lip liner for my lips, and this is called the Perfect Precision Eyeliner. Apparently it's an eyeliner, but I use it as a lip liner. You want to line the outer part of your lip. After lining it, I go in with the NYX Buttergloss, and this is in the shade Parlene. Going with my clear lip gloss, I always go with this right at the top. I almost forgot this step, which is actually one of my favorites as well. This going in with the bronze, and this is a Juvia Place Bronze, and it's in the shade Dark. So I like to mix the two shades together. It just looks better when I do. And apply it essentially where I put the, you want to apply it where you put the blush, just a little bit higher. So just like this, and back and forth motions. I go back in with the powder just a little bit and I press it on top of that area. That way the bronze and my powder blend in like more seamless. The final and last step is to go in with the setting spray. It's the Revolution makeup fixing spray. Pretty much done with the look. Simple and ready to go. If you made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. And I hope you subscribe, like, share, and continue to watch my videos.